I'm Carson Turner.
And I'm Simran Dal.
This just in, Cyrus, the son of a Persian chieftain and a Median princess, has been uniting Persian tribes trying to overthrow the Median monarchy.
The Medes had a role in destroying the Assyrian Empire and established themselves in Iran and outwards toward Anatolia and the Persian Gulf.
Now we'll go to Allison in the field.
Hello, I'm out here on the battlefield with Cyrus and a representative from the Medes. Looks like Cyrus is getting ready to destroy. Cyrus, how do you feel about this battle?
Hella prepared. Actually, I don't even need to do anything because I'm already married to the princess, so I can basically control everything now anyways.
We have a representative from the Median army, so how do you feel about this fight? Whatever. So Cyrus, what's your next step?
Probably going to take over the kingdom of Lydia, Anatolia. Some of it belongs to the Greek, but they'll have no deal with it. I'm also going to go into Mesopotamia and overthrow the Neo-Babylonian dynasty that had ruled since the decline of the Assyrian power.
How do you plan to maintain authority and peace?
Well, I'm a skillful propagandist, and I'll show some respect to the Babylonian priesthood. Maybe keep in mind their native traditions.
Thanks for your time, Cyrus.
No problem.
Back to the newsroom.
Thank you, Allison. Continuing on with this story, it is important to remember the background info on this region. Before Cyrus, the Medes were in control, and there was less of Parsa control. However, since the marriage of Achaemenes to the Medes Empire, the overall empire has been slowly gaining more Persian control, which is why the people are also known as Achaemenid. That's a fun fact, isn't it, Carson?
That's right, Simran. You learn something new every day. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
While I'm here in Persia, what new experiences can I try?
What about Zoroastrianism?
Zora what?
Zoroastrianism. It is a Persian religion and it became the official religion for Achaemenids. It emphasized truth-telling, purity, and reverence for nature.
That sounds cool, but who created this religion?
It's centered on a single benevolent city, Mazda, who engaged in a struggle with demonic forces before prevailing and restoring a pristine world.
Okay, I'm still not sure though. What else can you tell me?
Read this pamphlet about it.
It preached belief in one supreme deity, held humans to a high ethnical standard, and promised salvation. It traveled across Western Asia with an advance of Persian Empire, and it may have exerted a major influence on Judaism, and thus indirectly on Christianity. God and the devil, heaven and hell, reward and punishment, and the Messiah and the end of all appears to be of this profound belief system. Oh, now I understand. Zoroastrianism sounds great.
Breaking news directly from the royal court. Cyrus is dead. It is 530 BCE. The new report is that his son, Cambyses, is taking over the throne.
A spitting image of his father. He is trying to maintain the empire. He's engaging in a series of bloody battles and then sending expeditions south to Nubia and west to Libya.
Although the hateful Greeks think of him as a cruel and impious, he is also propagandist and respects the natives and priests in conquered areas. He has conquered Egypt. What? Oh, he died too! Breaking news. Cambyses is dead as of 522 BCE.
Now Darius I has taken over. Apparently, he is a nobleman related to the royal family. Here he is now.
What's up?
Okay, thank you, and we'll be back soon.
And we're back to Persian news. I'm Carson, and today we have an interesting developing story.
That's right, it looks like the leader, Darius I, as of 521 BC, is changing up Persia politically and economically.
He is ruthless and fearless. He has expanded the empire to the Indus Valley and westward into Europe. He has started getting closer to Greece's territory as well.
Yes, and he's done this through ships and promoting the development of maritime routes.
He has also completely reorganized the empire.
Yeah, this seems to be the case. With such a large empire, in fact, the largest the world has ever seen so far, it is not surprising that a single central authority kind of government would not work. To give you more information about this, we've invited a special guest to the start, Darius himself.
Hello, Darius, and thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to come to our show.
Hi, yeah, just make sure it doesn't go too long. I have a meeting in Persepolis soon.
Gotcha. Okay, well, Darius, can you give the citizens of Persia more of an insight into the new political structures?
As you know, with a huge empire with different societal and ethnic groups, it is hard to keep track. That's why I have made satraps, or provincial governors, have some power. They are basically governors that watch and do duties for the one of the 20 provinces they are assigned.
Interesting. And how are they assigned, or how do they get their positions?
They are usually my relative, part of the royal family. That way they are more trustworthy.
So what are the satraps' duties?
They are to protect the province and make sure everything is running in check. The most important thing is for them to collect and send tribute to me, usually in precious metals that I have assigned them to collect each year.
So how has this been working out?
Good, there are some problems. The farther the province, the more power they have, meaning I have less of a say. Also, with the increased collection of precious metals, the price of gold and silver has risen, which is starting to hurt some provinces' economies, along with the corruption going on.
Well, hopefully that'll work out. Okay, thank you for your time, King Darius.
Thank you, bye.
Okay, and we'll be back to you viewers soon.
And now we have a very special segment about patriarchal family organizations. In life as a Persian, the father of the family is considered the head of the household and has almost complete authority. We decided to take a closer look into this Persian home. Hello, what is your name, sir?
Armand, this is my wife, Azara.
Hello, this is our daughter, Anita.
Hi. Armand, what responsibilities does the father of the house have in Persia?
Well, I have a predominant role in political leadership, moral authority, and I control the property my family lives on. If I were to have a son, all the family property would be inherited by him.
So where will it go now?
Armand's property would probably go to Anita's husband, for him to control.
Thank you, Armand, Azar, and Anita, for showing us a Persian patriarchal family. Peace.
Women in the royal court were portrayed in a bad light by the Greeks. In reality, rather than vicious plotters and manipulators, they were actually vital to the family in resolving conflicts and defending family members. Elites also had a say in politics. Unlike Greek women, they had more rights such as owning property and being allowed in society and in public. The king. The king made sure he was well respected since he called everybody else a slave. The royal court was made up of the sons of Persian aristocrats, noblemen, the central administration, including officials and employees of the treasury, secretary, and archives, the royal bodyguard, and many countless courtiers and slaves. He was referred to as the Great King, King of Kings, King in Persia, or King of Countries. He owned a lot of land and would give it to nobles who were loyal to him. His empire was beautiful, with many gardens and parks, which exemplified the prosperity and wealth of the empire. The workers in the empire were usually from various different nationalities. They worked on construction and infrastructure problems. Government officials had the duty of delivering food and other resources to the workers. Because of this, the administrative center was more in the center of the empire, Susa, rather than the area considered more of Persia. There was also a social hierarchy. Society was divided into 3 social classes: warriors, priests, and peasants. The warrior peasants were farmers and shepherds. Technology and infrastructure. The Persian Empire had good roads connecting the vast region since there were so many provinces. This provided useful, along with the stations that were used for traveling and mail. The crossings were generally controlled by the military. Culture. Persia had rich culture, with many eccentric buildings and artifacts. Palaces, halls, and buildings were all beautiful and intricately designed. There was great movement in urban population in the capital, Persepolis, which became an important center for trading and culture. Darius started the building of this city, and it turned out to be very beautiful and essentially metropolitan.
And we're back. This is Persian News, and we have special reports today.
That's right. It looks like Persia has engaged in a Persian war with Greece.
Let's go into the background. Greece has always had tension with Persia due to its constant envy of Persia.
With its massive empire and glamorous culture, any empire would be jealous.
This tension only increased when Cyrus overtook Lydia, where many Greek cities were conquered in 546 BC. However, with the large distance between the capital and the former Greek territories, these territories were fairly autonomous.
That's why there was an opportunity for senses of unity and hatred for Persia within the Greeks and other subjugated communities. In 499 BC, there was the Ionian Revolt, which the Persians used major resources and time to take out. Quickly, the Persian War followed.
This was started by 2 Persian attacks on Eretria and Athens. Eretria was defeated and civilians were sent to exile. There was also the Battle of Marathon in Athens, where the Persians were defeated by the Athenian hoplite army.
This was all under Darius. Today we have reports of a new attack taking place under Xerxes, Darius' son. It is 480 BC, and he has led a large land and maritime fleet to the Hellespont Strait, where they are aiming to take over southern and central Greece.
In response to this takeover, Greece is preparing a Hellenic League. It is an alliance of Greek southern states. However, they could not stop them from entering southern Greece.
New reports are coming in from central Greece. Apparently there is a battle at Thermopylae where the Spartans are trying to hold up the Persians.
We'll go to our reporter at the battlefield.
Go.
Thanks, Carson. Here we can see the Persian army and its leader, Xerxes. Hello, Xerxes. What's your next move?
As of now, I'm returning from a brutal battle at Salamis. This was clearly not the right plan. I think we are heading towards Plataea. However, I feel our army has lost all its power.
Why is that?
It seems to be a supply and resource problem for our large army because of this and our less efficient infantry compared to the Greek hoplite warfare. It has become harder to become effective in our goals.
Oh, that sucks. Thanks. And now we'll head over to a fellow Athenian who has been watching all of this unfold. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Lena.
Hello, Lena. What do you feel is the next step in the Persian War for a major power of Greece, like Athens?
Clearly, with the weakening of the Persian army, we can go on the offense now. We can easily replace Sparta as a leader and use our strong naval force.
What does Greece as a whole hope to accomplish?
We want to remove the pesky Persians and then control over our former territories.
All right, thank you, and we'll be back after this break.
Hello, and welcome back to Persian News. This is unfortunately Simran and I's last day.
Yes, so sad, so sad. This is because the Persian Empire has fallen apart.
That's right, and tonight we're going to sum it all up for you.
In 477 BC, the Delian League was formed. Athens rose to power in leading the Greeks against Persia. They led the league to victory within 20 years and removed the Persians from Mediterranean, where they were occupying Greek communities. Only Cyprus was left under Persian control.
The final blow was delivered by Alexander the Great of Macedonia. He wanted revenge for Xerxes' invasion. In 334 BC, he led forces to a diminishing Persia and conquered King Darius III's soldier in 3 battles between Anatolia and Mesopotamia.
After more than 2 centuries of domination in the Middle East, the Achaemenid Persian Empire has fallen. Thus, this area has now entered a Hellenistic age, once an example for land-based empires all over the world and a source of jealousy for Greece. The Persian Empire now is remembered as a legacy of an empire with advanced technology, religious tolerance, no slavery, and limited tax.
A jewel of its time. And with that, fellow viewers, we say goodbye.